And welcome back. So Andy, tell us what we're doing today.
So today we're gonna be making meatloaf glazed with Uncle Dell's Mambo Sauce. All right, let's get started. So these are our ingredients. We have Worcestershire sauce, we have salt, we have breadcrumbs, we have rosemary, we have carrots, we have 2 eggs that we're gonna use the yolks for. We have about a cup of milk, we have onions, we have thyme, a little bit of oil, black pepper, and of course, Uncle Dell's Mambo Sauce. And right here, we have a mix of pork, veal, and beef, so about 3-ish pounds. Right now, we're gonna get started with chopping our vegetables. Mr. Jordan is gonna help me chop the herbs. So yeah, let's get started. So Mr. Jordan, could you chop up one of those? And then about that much thyme.
So the first one, what is this first one you gave me?
So that's rosemary.
Okay.
And that's gonna be kind of the main focus of it. With the meatloaf and the Mambo sauce, I think it goes really well together, especially with the umami from the Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut up some carrots. And I actually like my carrots pretty big for meatloaf.
So you gave me rosemary and thyme.
Rosemary and thyme.
So what does the thyme do?
Honestly, the thyme is kind of milder. You can't necessarily taste it as much.
Okay.
It just kind of adds like a background flavor to it. Kind of like when you put like a paprika or cayenne in something.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not very present, but it does kind of wake things up.
Okay.
And kind of enhances the flavors. All right, so we have all of our vegetables cut up and we're about to saute them. So we're gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan. This is about medium heat. We don't want it too high. We don't want to necessarily brown them because they are going to cook for a pretty long time in the oven. So we just kind of want to give them a head start, especially the carrots. So as these are softening up, we're gonna mix up our other ingredients like the egg, the breadcrumbs, and the milk. So right now we're gonna add the beef in. And again, this is 80-20 beef, this is ground pork and ground veal. All of those do have a specific flavor, especially the veal. Or sometimes I'll do just beef, sometimes I'll do even split between the 3, sometimes I'll do a little bit more beef forward, a little bit more pork forward. It really depends, but in general, a good even mix is pretty good. These are almost done to mix in here. We do want this to cool off a little bit because we do have egg in here. We don't want that to curdle. So we're gonna let this cool off. And while this is cooling off, we're gonna be making our glaze. Our glaze is pretty special. It's an amazing addition to this. And I think that it really makes or breaks it. If you don't have this sauce, it really does make a difference. We add Worcestershire sauce and we add Mambo sauce, Uncle Dell's Mambo sauce. I think that it tastes so much flavorful than just ketchup.
Okay.
Some people do spice up the ketchup, but just with that Mambo sauce flavor, that almost chili flavor from the Mambo sauce, it's just sweet, it's sticky, it's a little bit tangy. Sometimes we'll do the spicy Mambo sauce, but today we're just gonna do the regular Mambo sauce. We have about 1/3 of a cup of Worcester sauce, and we have about maybe 1.5 cups of Uncle Dell's Mambo sauce.
Okay.
So if you wanna try pouring about 1.5 cups.
Yep.
Now, I personally never measure in the kitchen, so I'm pretty good with eyeballing it. That's good.
All right.
So that's about 1 cup, and put a little bit more actually.
Gotcha.
That's 1.5 cups.
Got it. There you go.
And that's it. If you want to eyeball about 2 teaspoons while I mix this up.
2 teaspoons. You gotta help me out with this one.
A little bit more than that.
Give it a good little drizzle.
That's about 1 teaspoon.
Okay.
Let's do 3.
Okay. Again.
Again.
Okay. Again.
1 more.
All right. There we go.
That's it.
All right.
And also, when you do bake it, you can obviously, put a little bit of salt on each piece. I did put a little bit of barbecue rub in there. This is the barbecue rub that I made.
Okay.
I think that it goes really nicely. Some people don't do that, or a lot of people don't do that, but that's what I personally do. So this is ready to mix. So we're gonna wait for this to cool off, and we'll put it in, and then we'll mix it. All right, so our vegetables are done cooling off. We're gonna season them with some black pepper now. About enough. Then we're gonna take our vegetables with the meat and the other ingredients. And in this vegetables, we put the rosemary and the thyme. And right now we wanna kind of get in there with our hands. With the meatloaf, you kind of wanna mix it between your fingers.
What's the reason behind that?
Like how we did the burgers, we didn't mix it up at all.
Okay.
Because we wanted it to be loose and we wanted it to be tender.
Okay.
Or we want it to be loose, it will still be tender if we over-mix it. But right now we're gonna kind of over-mix it so that it stays firm.
Okay.
You don't want to do it too much because then it can get a little too homogeneous.
Okay.
We kind of want it to be some specks of onions, some specks of loose meat, some different textures with the pockets of pork or pockets of beef or pockets of veal. So you don't want to do too much, but what you want to make sure that everything is even. You're kind of squeezing it between your fingers, and yeah, that's just how I do it.
Okay.
This is about halfway done. If you could pour a little bit of our glaze in there.
Okay. Put a little
there.
bit of the glaze?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you when to stop.
Yep.
Slowly. Because you don't want too much. Right there. Right there. That's enough.
Okay.
All right. And that's it. So we put all the our ingredients in there. This is gonna taste really, really good. We're probably gonna put it in the oven for maybe about 35 to 40-ish minutes, but just until it hits 165. And that's really important that you make sure that it hits 165 because this is ground meat.
Okay.
You don't want to have meat that is ground be under 165.
Okay. All right.
So I'm just gonna take the meat, set it down on the pan. Don't form it like this. You want to make it a little bit taller than you want the final result to be because it is going to shrink down a little bit. We still have half right there. I'm going to make it another one because this makes two because I have a family of 5 siblings and 1 mom, so 1 is not enough. We're going to pop this in the oven, again, for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And we'll check back.
All right.
All right, so our meatloaf is finally done. We finished glazing it. We put it on the broiler, so it got a little sticky, a little tacky. Now we're about to slice it up. I have the chief of staff of Jacob's Ladder to come do the slicing. Please give me a big old slice, please. Yes, sir. And that's a big slice.
There you go. That's a man that knows how to. Up on top of our meatloaf. Now we're gonna put Uncle Dell. Anything else for us, Andy?
Nope, that's it. We're about to honestly eat all of this, probably make another one. But check back next week. I'm making something else. Got another recipe for you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.
Yeah, take it easy.
We want to thank you for tuning into this episode. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And also donate by using the links at the top of the description. All donations will go to Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation and Uncle Dell's Mambo Sauce. And this episode is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors: the Home Team Realty Group, Title House Settlement Escrow, the Jordan Group, Platinum Cleanup, Miles Away to Travel, and Christopher's Village.